let's do another type of video. This was a request, so let's do this. 15 unexpected things you will only see in Brazil. I will link the original video of the YouTuber here below, so you can go there and subscribe. And also to the YouTuber here, I forgot the name, the Supreme. You're welcome to copyright claim this video. We're just doing it for the fun. So,
Anaconda crossing. While the Netherlands has built bridges for their rabbits to cross highways, and India waits patiently for holy cows to cross the road, in Brazil, they've got a whole other beast on their hands.
Wow.
Yep, Brazilians have been sharing their street with...
Honestly, I was in India and I saw like a snake crossing the street. Like it was a huge thing, must have been like 4 meters long. I was like, what the hell is that? So there's also there big snakes.
Giant green anacondas for years. These mega serpents are one of the largest snakes on Earth. That's right. This is not just a freak occurrence that happens from time to time. In fact, it's a routine occurrence. Imagine cruising down the road in your car and seeing one of these bad...
You really have to be careful for small pets and also your children. God damn.
...boys slithering right across your path. Yup, if you thought sitting in traffic was one of the worst things that could happen on your daily commute...
You can also be strangled by an anaconda in your car.
Think again. This gigantic 10-foot snake was trying to jaywalk, or should we say slither, when people began to get out of their cars to halt incoming traffic and alert drivers of the huge reptile. Thanks to the help of these thoughtful onlookers, the bold snake reached his final destination safely. We've heard of a zebra crossing, but never an anaconda crossing. What would you do if you saw this enormous snake coming towards you?
Toilet paper. Definitely toilet paper.
Would you get out of your vehicle or just drive as far away as possible?
Toilet paper in abundance.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Number 14, the tallest water slide in the world. This crazy water slide is as high as a 14-story building. That's right, this Brazilian ride is for the most extreme thrill seekers only. The famous Insano water slide sends people flying down a near vertical drop, reaching speeds of up to 65 miles per hour. It's truly one of a kind, and something you wouldn't experience anywhere else. Despite being 134 feet tall, the ride is...
Did he just say 60 plus miles? That's like 100 kilometers an hour. No, thank you.
Over and done with in just 5 seconds. Imagine lining up for this water slide all afternoon just for it to last a mere seconds. It must be really worth it. The notorious water slide was built in 1989 and holds the official Guinness World Record for the highest water slide on Earth. So where can you find this free-falling tower of terror? That would be the famous beach park, located in Aquiraz, Brazil. Amazing, right? Would any of you guys ever ride this terrifying water slide?
No, thank you.
Number 13, Fisherman and Dolphin Alliance. In Laguna, Brazil, dolphins have formed a very unlikely and totally unique alliance with the local fishermen. That's right, this symbiotic relationship has been going on for over 30 years, and both parties are interested in one thing and one thing only.
Fish.
Mullets. We aren't talking about the awesome hairstyle.
Not the one that you wear behind your hair from the 80s. Mullets, those also were mullets.
Though, we're of course talking about the delicious fish.
Wow, that's
so
huge.
How does it all work? Well, groups of up to 20 bottlenose dolphins work together to herd the schools of mullet fish towards the shore, heads and fins against the waves to signal to their human buddies when it's time to cast their nets out. This thrashing motion also works to break up the mullet fish into smaller groups, making them easier to catch. Pretty amazing, right? These fishermen are dependent on these epic dolphins to help them make their living, and elder dolphins will even teach the young dolphins how to help the fishermen catch mullet. It's like something straight out of a Disney Pixar movie. We always knew that dolphins were the most awesome of the sea creatures. Where else in the world would this ever happen? Only in Brazil. Have you ever seen anything quite like this?
Dolphins are just amazing.
This before? Number 12. Police riding buffaloes. For over 25 years now, this unusual mode of transport
What?
has been the preferred choice for a police force serving near the Amazon River
What?
Delta. The rough terrain in the region has always been a problem, but the cops here don't rely on quad bikes or jeeps. Instead, they've adopted the Asian water buffalo in order to get from A to B. But why buffaloes? Well, the answer is quite simple. They move faster through water and swamps than any other form of transport. And on the Amazon River island of Marajo, northern Brazil, it isn't just the police that make use of the area's huge buffalo population. You can also try a delicious
That looks kind of weird, I have to say, but thumbs up to the buffalo. Awesome animal.
scoop of buffalo ice cream, a slice of buffalo cheese, or even a juicy buffalo steak. Yep, Marajo pretty much worships the buffalo, and there are reports of up to
Well, also cooks it.
1 million of the furry-horned creatures living on the island.
If you have a relationship with the animal, you know, it's super cool. Look how strong they
Be
are.
more impressive than a regular car. But what do you guys think? Number 11, Meeting of Waters, where the Rio Negro and Rio Solimões rivers meet up to form the lower Amazon River. An amazing natural phenomenon has occurred.
Okay.
It goes by the name the Meeting of Waters. This creates a spectacular visual display that lasts for 6 kilometers. The awesome sight is so significant that it can be viewed from space. While the Rio Negro River is a dark black color due to the plant material it picks up through the jungles of Colombia, the Rio Solimões is a paler brown color due to the sediment it collects as it flows from the Andes Mountains. And color is not the only difference. The Negro River is faster flowing, while the Solimões flows at a slower pace. It's a huge attraction for tourists who travel
It's also murky, the other water, from probably dragging sediment and maybe mud, other type of stuff in.
from all over the globe to witness this incredible force of nature. Just another reason why Brazil is such a unique and fascinating country. We'd love to take a boat
There is one ship there, one boat. The entire world, one boat.
trip to the Meeting of Waters, wouldn't you? Number 10, Feijoada, the national dish of Brazil.
This I have to try. I didn't try this yet. I have to see either I make it or if the lady there at the shop does it. There's a Brazilian shop here.
This is one plate of food that really represents the country perfectly. It's hearty, strong in flavor, and not for the weak. This adaptable bean stew is served everywhere in Brazil, from fine dining restaurants to street vendors, and Brazilians can't get enough of this meaty dish. Yup, feijoada is the official taste of Brazil.
Sounds like always like feijoada, like from beans, right? Fagioli. We also have fagiolata. We have fagiolata. It's a similar thing. I don't remember if there is a version. Probably there is. Must be a version with the beans and meat. Also in Italy, but usually fagiolata in Italy is more with vegetables.
Word feijo means bean in Portuguese, and the core ingredient of this unique dish is, of course, the black bean, which is then stewed over low heat with salted pork, beef, and smoked sauce. This delicious delicacy at international food markets around the world.
Rice. I'm gonna try this. I want to try this.
Number 9, the world's largest cashew tree.
Either I
Can
make
you
it.
imagine one giant
I'll
tree
try
that
to
feels
buy it.
like an entire forest? It might sound unbelievable, but it's totally real. We love cashew nuts, so we would definitely want to check out this enormous and
I just read actually the cashew nuts, they're toxic if they're not treated. Of course, you have to. There's just a little seed inside that is the nuts, which needs to be worked. Well, like beans anyway. You cannot eat dry beans. Actually, they're poisonous. If you eat like kidney beans not cooked, it actually can kill you a large amount.
abundant tree if we were ever to visit Brazil. A huge sprawling canopy envelopes the walkways surrounding this miraculous plant, and it has multiple trunks that spread across 2 whole acres. You can find this beloved cashew tree nearby the beautiful Parangi Beach on Brazil's coast, and it's now a popular tourist attraction after entering the Guinness World Records in 1994. Number 8, the fire-friendly plant. It doesn't get any more unexpected than this. We've heard of life-saving plants in the Amazon, but what about a flower that comes back from the dead after a devastating wildfire? Yep, we've heard a lot about raging forest fires in Brazil over the last couple of years, but did you know that there's a unique flower in Brazil that actually springs into life straight after a fire has passed? Yeah, just one day later, this hardy little plant experiences a super bloom, and it's stunning. Bulbostis paradoxa is a Brazilian plant that has adapted to wildlife in the most astonishing way. While trees in the area are razed and destroyed, the fighter flower survives and thrives. They can be found in the awesomely biodiverse savanna lands in the Cerrado in Brazil.
All right, fair enough. But also should be said that when there is a fire happening and the burning of create ashes, actually creates a wonderful fertile terrain afterwards to grow stuff. So ashes and fire, to an extent, are a really good thing for the ground, for the land.
Mount Roraima, the triple border.
This is
How
amazing.
on earth has a famous movie not been filmed here yet? This exquisite location.
Well, I have an idea. Maybe it's very difficult to reach there. Like, look at how many trees, so lush and thick. I mean, looks like the realm for life that we are not used to it anymore. Maybe in the past there would be tribes in between the bushes and settlement there.
Is by far one of the most interesting border points in the world, dividing Brazil from Guyana and Venezuela. Mount Roraima rests in between the three countries and is the highest of the Roraima mountain chain in South America. Number 5. So what does the average beach scene in Brazil look like? Well, there's plenty of tanning and sunbathing to be seen, just like anywhere else in the world. However, there's something quite different about the beach bum lifestyle here that makes Brazil in one of those sports. If you love soccer or football, then you will already know what an incredible reputation Brazil has on the world playing field. After all, they're the only country to have ever won 5 World Cup titles. Yep, when the World Cup comes around every 4 years, most Brazilians are even allowed to work part-time or not at all in order to catch the Brazil games. Okay, we'll admit it, we are kind of jealous. It's not only ball games like soccer and volleyball that the Brazilians excel in. Nope, martial arts such as Capoeira and Jiu-Jitsu are a way of life in Brazil, and keeping fit and healthy in general is super important in this South American country. We can't think of another country that is more fitness obsessed. What about you guys? Number 4, floating island Iguazu Falls. On the border of the Argentine province of Misiones and the Brazilian state of Paraná, there is a natural wonder that rivals all others in the world.
All right, look at this, huh? This is amazing. Also, I like the guy talking about fitness, and they're showing the guy, a little bit chubby guy. Totally fine. Also getting a suntan. But this is straight out of Lord of the Ring. Look at this. Just need one big statue right there in the middle or something. Well, here the passage is broken, of course, because there are waterfalls, so you're gonna really go any further. When you look at this, you also think like, wow, can you imagine? Like, probably this thing was there also like 10 million years ago, or like at the time of the dinosaur or something, before the meteor hit like 70 million years ago or something. It's amazing.
From the Guarani or Tupi words "y" meaning water and "huasu" meaning big, Iguazu literally translates to big water. And it doesn't come much bigger than this.
Yeah.
Yup, this legendary Iguazu Falls may be one of the most beautiful waterfalls on the entire planet, but it's also the largest waterfall system in the entire world. It completely dwarfs Niagara Falls, as Iguazu measures in at a whopping 269 feet compared to Niagara's height of 165 feet. We didn't think it was even possible to outshine Niagara Falls. With its 275 distinct falls and large floating islands, that exquisite South American waterfall system is like nowhere else on Earth. We think that it looks like a location straight out of a thrilling adventure movie. How did Brazil get so lucky? We really want to go and check this phenomenal waterfall out. What do you guys think of the Iguazu Falls?
Well, you don't want to fall into it, that's for sure.
Number 3, Carnival.
Of course.
Does your hometown host a carnival? Well, you might as well forget about your local festivals, dance parties, and street fests, because the truth is that nothing really compares to Brazil's carnival scene, and even more specifically, the Rio Carnival. Yup, it's the party to end all parties, and the hottest carnival in the entire world. You just can't beat it.
I agree, and also I think, like, I don't know if it was always like this. Seems like now they've done kind of a strip where they just parade those chariots and carriages and all those, the different things there. Because how do you call them? Carriages? The word doesn't come to mind. Also, those things, they look like real, but they look like they just made a little piece, where they parade them back and forth, and that's it. I wonder if in the past it was also like more on the main streets, Maybe this is actually a street, and they just kind of fit the part of the
street. This insane bash first began way back in 1723, in the week running up to Lent, and it's gone from strength to strength ever since. Loud, colorful costumes, banging music, and millions of party-loving people all combined in this legendary Sambadrome Marquês de Sapucaí venue, and the atmosphere is always totally electric. And that isn't even half of it. Outside the Sambadrome, over 300 street parties take place, bringing the whole city to life. This is one party where everyone is invited, including the rest of the world. If you ever dreamed of traveling to Brazil, then the beginning of each calendar year really is the best time to go out and get a true Brazilian experience. Bring your best feathered headdress, and we'll meet you at the Sambadrome.
Look at that. Amazing, huh?
Number 2, Capoeira. Get ready for a martial art like no other, a fighting dance that has evolved over the decades and centuries, stemming from the rich cultural diversity informing Brazil from over 4 different continents. It's thought to have originated in the 16th century as a method of fighting and
There used to be a group of Brazilian guys here in the Netherlands, which they did this show on the street, especially in the summer. A really long time ago. I'm talking already 15 years ago, I remember. Probably they don't do it anymore, because of course the time they were younger, and there were 6-7 guys doing this, in some squares, and it was pretty cool actually. I witnessed this several times, and I always thought oh wow, it's amazing, those guys spinning and jumping and doing this stuff like that.
Defense used by enslaved Africans and disguised as a dance. Nowadays, this art is a phenomenon all over the world, but Brazil is still the home of Capoeira.
Wow, look at
The
that.
Ginga, a rocking step, is at the center of this complex dance, keeping the capoeirista in a constant state of motion while they fight in the roda, which is a circle formed of singers and musicians that provide the rhythm for the capoeira match.
You get your ass kicked with the rhythm. How about that, huh?
Yet there's no other discipline quite like the unique art of capoeira, and it's been an important part of the Brazilian culture for centuries now. If you want to give it a go, then you don't have to travel to South America, as there are lots of schools all over the world where you can get involved. But if you want to get right to the heart of this awe-inspiring martial art, you simply must head to its birthplace in Brazil for the true capoeira experience. Number 1. Passions for the forest. As much as we've heard stories about logging and degradation in Brazil, one thing is absolutely for sure.
Well, this doesn't look like in Brazil though. But maybe I'm wrong, because those pine trees, they seem much more into mountains. But it could be. I don't know the elevation of some mountains there, so it could be.
Sure, the people of Brazil have a fierce loyalty to Mother Nature unlike anywhere else in the world. While Brazil unfortunately faces huge amounts of industry and logging that threatens their forests, including the precious Amazon rainforest, there are people out there fighting to make sure the country has a bright and luscious future instead of a barren one. This awesome Brazilian couple regrew an entire forest in the Minas Gerais state in just 20 years, and their work is not done yet. Just by planting native plants and trees on the lifeless, degrading plot of land, Brazilian photojournalist Sebastião Ribeiro Salgado and his wife, Lélia de Luz Wanek Salgado, managed to revive their old cattle ranch and transform it into a living, breathing forest that boasts 300 species of trees and saw the return of over 170 species of birds, 30 species of mammals, and 15 species of reptiles and amphibians. That's right, this inspiring Brazilian couple brought a forest back to life, and hopefully many more all over the world will follow in their footsteps. There's only one planet Earth after all. We told you that Brazil was an awesome place. Yup, this vibrant country is truly one of a kind.
And there is also a shark in the water. About that, you don't want to go there. Probably they don't have crocodile, probably.
There's just nowhere else quite like it on the planet. We're officially adding Brazil to our bucket list. What about you guys?
All right, guys, thank you so much for giving me this tour through the 15 things unexpected in Brazil. I'm sure there are more things unexpected though. This seems a little bit more on the safe side of what it's known, but there's probably way more. But I enjoy going through it, and if there is something we missed, guys, let me know. Or other video you want me to react or review, let me know. Just at least share it in the comments. And go check the original video on their main channel. I'll link it below. And subscribe. Alright? Don't forget. Talk to you later. Ciao.